This video is brought to you by Cool Green Clothing.
I'm switching lanes so much, man. They can never get behind me, man. Yeah, I'm taking it all away, man. I ain't playing with them, man. One thing is the key, man. It's consistency, man. It don't matter, man, how good the product is, man. If you ain't out there, man, to get rid of it, man, the supply to demand, man, you going down, man. You in it for nothing, man. Get with me, man. I'm starting a whole league, man. Get with me, man. Get with the winning team, man. Cool Green Clothing. We going all the way, and we coming straight out of Baltimore.
What's going on, YouTube fam? This your boy Tony 2Times, and we back with another episode of the Baltimore Way, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. Definitely watch this video to the end to hear the full story. Subscribe if you're new to the fam. Hit that notification bell for future uploads. Let's get right into the story. In inner cities, it is common for a disagreement or altercation to turn violent real fast. A simple fight can turn to shots fired and somebody being gone. We all taught that's just how it is. To the point you learn quick. Don't argue with nobody or throw a punch unless you are ready to go all the way, because you just never know what's on another person's mind. Things get blew out of proportion a lot of times when certain elements are involved, whether it's drugs, money, or people drinking getting turned up. It might turn into a situation. But when a simple fight turns into a life lost and lazy police work leaves a victim's family furious, things get different. As we all know, a lot of times, police only know what people at the scene tell them or others around. And a lot of times they try to piece a case together without all of the evidence. And on this episode of the Baltimore Way, we will discuss a case that ended with one man gone and another being acquitted of murder. According to sources, at about 1 a.m. on February 12, 2021, a black Chevy Equinox will pull up to a liquor store in the 1900 block of Emerson Avenue. In the whip was allegedly 3 men and a woman. 2 of the men were 32-year-old Darius Jordan and 52-year-old Guy Thomas. As Darius and Guy got out of the car and headed into the bar, the men would have an altercation. When Darius started beating on Guy in the store, the clerk screamed out to the men to stop, in which Darius apologized before telling Guy, "Come on, get what you gonna get, and let's go back to the car." Once the men exited the store, the fight continued, with Darius still putting hands on Guy for whatever reason, until the man fell, when allegedly the man they was with hopped out the car and started shooting at Guy while he was on the ground, hitting the man multiple times before Darius hopped in the whip and they drove off. BPD soon after arrived, after getting alerted by ShotSpotter to the scene, where they found Mr. Guy Thomas laying face down, unfortunately already gone from his injuries. It was shell casings on the scene, also surveillance footage from the store. BPD would talk to witnesses and watch the footage, in which it showed the fight in the store and the fight outside that led to the shooting. A suspect was soon identified, and it was Darius. Even though they clearly saw he wasn't the shooter, they hoped he would tell them who the man was. Once BPD snatched him up, Darius quickly told them the beef he had with Guy was petty. He was mad at the man because he allegedly gave Guy a few dollars to get out the gate because he was ill. For out-of-towners, the meaning of that is going through withdrawals from drugs. But after looking out for Guy with the money, Darius said the two got a ride to the store with a man he really didn't know. Once in the store, he stated Guy pulled out a good bit of money to buy something, which made Darius feel some type of way because he just had gave him some money, thinking the man was broke. That's when they had words and the fight broke out. But BPD wanted the name of the shooter, in which Darius stated he did not know, and he definitely didn't know he was going to shoot, and he never wanted nothing to happen to Guy. When asked why didn't he call police or why he got in the car, Darius said he was scared, as the man just did a hit for nothing, and allegedly told him if he said anything, he would come for him and his peoples too. As the police kept pressing for a name, Darius quickly realized, even though he didn't pull the trigger, he would be held responsible. Asking detectives, "How am I being charged with murder from a fist fight?" Once in custody, Darius quickly got a lawyer who claimed the state was reaching, charging her client with murder, and that prosecutors and detectives in the city do that a lot, trying to make an example out of people who don't give information or make a bigger case out of frustration. She pointed out no forensics was done on the crime scene or the shell casings. Even the detective in the case said they never even checked Darius's phone to see if they found any connection between him and the shooter. As this case went on, state's attorney and prosecutors would stand firm on the murder charge, showing the surveillance video and what led up to it, even stating that Darius switched his story up, in which his lawyer argued he was in the interrogation room for over 3 hours, answering the same questions over and over. As it made it to trial, the first time after Guy's family saw the footage of their people, they attacked Darius in the courtroom, leading to a mistrial. The store clerk testified in the second trial about the initial fight and stated at that point that's all it was on the surveillance. It showed a man with a cane approaching the car, a hand-to-hand transaction, then the two men entering the store. Minutes later, Guy and Darius walking out in another fight, in which Darius knocked Guy to the ground before a man in a hoodie ran around and shot twice and jumped into the car, shooting more times. Eventually, the murder charges against Darius was dropped to second-degree assault, in which he would be found guilty and sentenced to 20 years in prison. Rest in peace, Mr. Guy Thomas. I send my deepest prayers and condolences to his family. More of this story, small things can escalate to something major. It's an old saying, you gotta know when to hold and when to fold. If Darius was telling the truth, he could have told Guy, give me my money back, and kept it moving. And you gotta know the company you keep and what they are willing to do. If they are trigger happy, you should know off muscle. It could have been deeper than we all know, and maybe Darius just didn't say nothing. Either way, in the blink of an eye, a man is gone for nothing, and another with 20 years for a few dollars. But hey, that's just the Baltimore way. Man, crazy story, rest in peace, Guy. At the end of the day, I can see why Darius got acquitted, no offense to Guy's family, because it was just a fight. You feel what I'm saying? They can't charge him with murder from a fight, If he killed him during the fight, maybe. But obviously, it was another trigger man. You feel me? And Darius ain't say nothing. He kept it G. He took it on the chin. And he got 20 years, It's a messed up situation all around the board. It's really pointless at the end of the day. If he was telling the truth, if it was just about a few dollars, he could have simply been like, you got all that bread, just give me my money back. But sometimes, like I said, when certain elements is involved and somebody feels disrespected, situations can escalate, especially if Guy says something slick back to Darius. At the end of the day, man, we come from an environment where things get out of hand real fast. And depending on your temperature and how you carry somebody, things can get nasty, man. But at the end of the day, like I said, pointless situation. A man lost his life over nothing, Darius got 20 years, you feel me, for putting his hands on somebody, basically. And the shooter, it never came to the light. But y'all already know how that go, man. Let me know what y'all think about this one in the comments. This your boy Tony 2 times. Love, fam. I'm out.